Good morning.
Before begin our session today, let us maintain decorum of our forum, and I request all to keep their phone switched off or put them in silence mode. A warm welcome to all of you to the 17th meeting of SICASA Speaker Forum, Race Course Road, Bangalore. The past is gone, the future is unknown, and the present is which we have. The present is the moment which we use to make our dream success. The phrase clearly explains that. The phrase clearly explains that. The power of now, which happens to be the theme of our today's. My dear friend, past and futures are only relatives. They can only be defined in reference to their relation to the present, what we do in present. My dear friend, believe there is no any substitute of present if we want really to change. There is no any pause bottom in the time. Neither we can accelerate it, but nothing can stop us to make up use of it. I have one poem to share with you. Let me share with you. Didn't see, didn't choose, didn't see, didn't choose, but it's up to me to use of it. I have only the minute, which is now. Account for it if I abuse it. Account for it if I abuse it. Answer for it if I lose it. Just a little time, a minute, but eternity is in it. Eternity is in it. My dear friend, in past a lot of downs would have happened. We can't go back and we can make it good now. But we can act consciously now and we can make our future prosperous. Now I'd like to request our President of the Forum, Sagar Basal, to give presidential speech for the day.
Every day spent procrastinating is another day spent worrying about that thing. So do it now and make it happen right now. Good morning and welcome to the 17th meeting of SICASA Speakers Forum. It is my immense pleasure to welcome the person who has changed the life of many people by training them to help to develop their communication skills. Mr. Ramlal sir is the Chief Guest and General Evaluator for the day. Let us welcome him with a big round of applause. Procrastination. Today I would like to begin my talk with a small funny story about a family of turtle. There were 3 members in the turtle family: father, mother, and a small turtle, baby turtle. One day they decided to go for a picnic, and the baby turtle was very lazy like me, and he used to procrastinate his things. So when his father or mother asked him to do something, why now? I'll do it later. No, I don't want to do it. Like that he used to answer. So on that day when they reached the park for the picnic, everything was ready, but the climate, it seems that it appeared that it is about to rain after some time. So the father told that baby turtle to go and bring one umbrella so that they can sit properly and enjoy the picnic. And as always, he said, "Why should I go? Why can't you go?" And after that, the father turtle gave an angry look to him, and he told, "I will only go if you don't start lunch. If you promise that you will not start the lunch, then only I will go and bring the umbrella." And they said, mother turtle said, "Okay, you go and bring the umbrella, then only we will start the lunch." And 10 minutes passed away, 20 minutes gone, 1 hour gone, 5 hours gone, and whole day was gone. And it was evening. Both of them were too much hungry, and they were worried where our baby turtle has gone. And father said, "Anyway, we are late. Anyway, he has not come. So let's finish this lunch, food, and we'll go to search him where he went." And immediately they were about to start that lunch. The baby turtle poked from a tree and said, "Hey, wait! I know that you were going to have that lunch. That's why I didn't want to bring the umbrella." So that because of that procrastination, this is, even though it looks a silly story, but there is deep meaning inside that. The baby turtle not only wasted his time, but he ruined the whole picnic. So if we procrastinate the thing which is to be done on time, we will not only it will not only be lost to ourselves, it will be a huge loss to our family, friends, and all the circle around us. Many people will get affected because of that. So not only this, there are a lot of disadvantages of procrastination. Once we realize that we have to do something, if we don't do that in the right time, in the right moment, then we'll keep on thinking about that. So it will put stress on our head. We'll feel stress if we don't do the thing which is required to be done. And we cannot show our full potential. If I have to give a speech, that is the same case happened to me also many times. If we have 1 week time, we'll not prepare for 6 days. On the last day we'll start preparing, and with 1 day's time we'll not be able to show our full potential because of lack of time for preparation. So this is another disadvantage of procrastination, and the things get disorganized. If we keep on procrastinating, we'll have the pile of work to be done, and at the last minute, at the end time, when we start doing that thing, it cannot be done on perfect manner as it needs to be done. So those are the things, and we always have a big dream in our life. All of us has big dream of life, and many things to do daily. But the more we do is procrastination. The more we do often is procrastination. So we need to avoid procrastination and start taking action from right now. The power of now. Dear friends, the only thing we have is present. Past and future are only our thoughts. Past and future exist only in our thought. The only thing that we have right now is present, and we can only achieve our dream and become success if we utilize the time which we have right now. So that is the power of now. And that is the power of now. So stop procrastinating and start taking action from right now. And one of my friends, I have spoken with my friends many times to come and join the forum, because he needs the forum. He is in need of that forum to develop his communication skills. And he always tells, "Sagar, let me become perfect, and then I'll come to forum. I will first improve my this English, and then only I will come and speak. He is very good in Kannada speaking, but he have fear to speak in English. So what is lacking is there is one saying, perfectionism is the enemy of perfectionism is the mother of procrastination. So he always wants things to be perfect. That's why he is not able to come to forum and develop his skills. So friend, perfectionism is the mother of procrastination. Even when I was in college days doing BBM, that time I used to I didn't participate in many activities, thinking I am not perfect for that. But when I used to go there as an audience and just see what is going on. People were not competent enough, were also participating, and they were learning slowly. So from that time I realized that we should not be perfect to do something. We have to just start the thing, so we are one step ahead than those who have not done that thing. So we will become only perfect when we keep on doing things. So we should stop procrastinating and start taking action right now. And I would like to end my speech with a quote. One day we will wake up and there will be no time to do the things that we wanted to do in our life. So start taking action right now and do whatever you want to do right now. Stop procrastinating and become proactive and make the best of the present that you have right now. Thank you. Now I would like to call the person, Mr. Secretary of our SICASA Speakers Forum, to read out the minutes of meeting of last meeting.
Good morning, everyone. Minutes of meeting, 16 meeting, 18 June 2017. Meeting started at 8:12 a.m. Mr. J.K. started the session welcoming every member. He introduced his own role as a grammarian. He spoke on the theme of the day beautifully. Mr. Sagar started the speech on welcoming Chief Guest and Mr. Ramlal sir. He spoke on the theme of today relating to a story of his own swimming. Mr. Jagdish, Mr. Kapil and Mr. Jaykumari presented their speeches. Mr. Jagdish and Jaykumari spoke on Project 2, whereas Mr. Kapil spoke on Project 1. Speaker did their best to present their speeches effectively. Mr. Sisir handled the session beautifully. All members got equal opportunity to participate in table topic session. Mr. Ramlan sir was the evaluator and he evaluated the entire session. He suggested speaker not to use thank you after the speeches and not to gossip while someone is giving their speeches. Meeting ended at 10:48 a.m. Back to President.
Friends, now it is the time to begin our session with the man. He will, the man, master of ceremony of the day. He is very young, enthusiastic, and a responsibility taker, and he loves to listen music. The man from the Udupi, Mr. Mithun. Let us welcome him with a big round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. I'm glad that Mr. President thinks the same as I think. I have prepared with the quote and he already quoted that, so I need not tell it again. So today we have a word, procrastination, and the theme of the day is power of now. It's a beautiful, procrastination has a beautiful meaning, act of postponing, delaying or putting off. So, speaking about that, normally we all procrastinate things and we think we can do it later. Why should we do it now? We have so many time. Taking my example, I had assigned this duty of MC last Sunday itself, but I postponed the things and I ended up preparing for this MC yesterday night. So, friends, what I'm going to tell is never procrastinate things. Do the things as and when. And it will ease you, it will release pressure from you. So, a warm welcome to everyone. First, I would like to introduce our general evaluator for the day, Mr. S. Ramlal sir. He has done BSc, MA, MBA and PhD. He was an ex-State Bank of India official with more than 3 decades of working experience. He specialized in foreign exchange and loans and advances. He has trained many a youth and adult in soft skills like memory development, public speaking, effective communication, stress management, time management, self-esteem, principles of human relations, assertiveness, training, etc. Conducted several memory development sessions in schools and colleges. DTM, Distinguished Toastmasters, the highest award from the Toastmasters International. The USA trained many members of the Toastmasters in leadership and effective communication skills. Conducted several youth relationship programs and speechcraft programs on behalf of the Toastmasters. Judged several international speech contests of the Toastmasters at the club level, area level, division level and the district level. Welcome you, sir. So today we have our 5 speakers prepared for their speech. First I would like to welcome Mr. Gaurav for his prepared speech. I would like to introduce.
Before that, role players will brief their role. Before that, let the role players brief their role. Role players, can you please brief your role? Ask the role players to brief their roles.
Okay. Sorry, before that I would like to ask the role players to brief their role. Listener, Mr. Mahesh.
Good morning to all. Today I am with the listener for this SICASA forum. I will write all the speeches given by our speakers, and I will ask questions end of this speakers forum, and you need to tell the answers. Thank you.
And timer, Mr. Kapil Dev.
Good morning, everyone. This is Kapil, and today I have been given the role of a timer. So I will be noting down the time taken by all the speakers today. So for the prepared speech, the maximum time allowed is 7 minutes, and the minimum is 5 minutes. So when you will complete your 5th minute, I will show you the green card, and when you will complete your 6th minute, I will show you yellow card, and when you will complete your 7th minute, I will show you red card. And similarly, in the butterfly session, 2 minutes is the maximum time, 1 minute is the minimum time, and likewise I will show you green card in the 1 minute, 1.5 minute yellow card, and red card in the 2 minutes. So when I am showing you yellow card, you must be aware that this is your last minute or the 30-second, as the case may be. So you need to manage within that time limit. So hope no one will deviate from the time allocated to you. Best wishes to everyone. Good luck.
Your name is Shweta.
Hello everyone, my role for today is to check grammar. Along with the grammar check, I'll also I'll inform everyone about the usage of new words today in the speeches. That's all.
And the person who counts the repeated word, Mr. Prashant.
Good morning to everyone. Today my role is counting the words which you repeated a number of times. Thank you.
And the host of butterfly session, Ms. Komala.
Good morning everyone, I am Komala. I took butterfly session role. I will giving the topics to you. As a timer told, you need to speak about that topic for 2 minutes. You already know minimum minute is 1 minute and maximum 2 minutes. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, now let's move on with our prepared speeches. So first I would like to call upon Ms. Varsha Jain for her prepared speech. As we all know, we can introduce ourselves better than anyone else. So I'd like to ask Ms. Varsha Jain to introduce yourself to the gathering.
Hello friends, good morning. My speech itself is my self-introduction. 19 years, 1 month, 27 days back, there was a thunderstorm and a heavy rain in a town. There was a full power cut and the whole town was black. It was 29th April 1998. At around 9:30 p.m., a girl born and her name was later kept as Varsha, which means rain. Yeah, it is me who has a reason behind keeping my name as Varsha. From my early age, I am neither a mischievous girl nor a shy kind of girl. But one thing I had found common with me and kids of now is that I was a hater of studies. I was so dumb that till my class of 4th, I couldn't even spell the name of the months of the year, and the only month spelling which I was knowing that the month of April and May, being April being the month of my birth and May is the easiest name which I can spell. But we all know there is a turning point in everybody's life, and by the God's grace, I got that turning point in my 5th standard itself, where I was forced by my teachers and my parents to sit beside the most learned fellows of my class, who are called as good students of the class. And being with them, I practically realized the truth of my mom's saying that Jaisi Sangat Vaisi Rangat, which means that a person gets influenced by a company he keeps. It is actually a truth. I learned all the tricks and not only I learned all the tricks and tactics of learning being with them, I even started loving my studies and my subjects. Being from a poor student, being with them, I reached a level where my marks in my score sheet was all in 90 series, and it continued till with the continue of my studies. And in my 10th standard, I got 93%, and continued in my 12th standard, that is in my second QC, I got 97.3%, getting a 10th rank in a state, which was a matter of proud for me as well as my parent. Being from a child who was a hater of studies, now I reached a level where I usually say my mom that, "Mommy, I can never compromise on my studies for such silly functions and all." So, as the word of today says, the procrastination. I was at the climax of procrastination even at my child, where I was never even tried to study. I was never liked what the teacher says, or I was never liked the books, which was my study books. And I feel that it was my luckiest day when I was made to sit beside those friends, and I still remember all those friends, and I'll be telling them that because of you as my friends, I have changed myself. Now I would like to quote a saying of Mr. Abdul Kalam, which I learned in my school days, and it got hooked to me, that make your dream as your aim, don't make your aim as your dream. Dream being want and aim being need. Try to make your want as your need, so that you will be forced by yourself to achieve it. Don't only dream and don't be lazy enough to just dream. Don't be lazy enough that your aim also will become a dream and just flew out of your mind. Having chosen this CA course, I had made all my dreams as an aim, and I am sure that with this with this profession of CA, I will make all my, I will achieve all my aims which was my dreams earlier. I would like to conclude saying that with a saying which I had believed from my childhood, that where there is a will, there is a way. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Varsha, for your introduction. Now I would like to call upon Mr. Gaurav. Mr. Gaurav, please introduce yourself to the crowd.
Good morning, sir. My fellow members, here I am, Gaurav Malhotra. This is my first speech. I'm supposed to give an introductory speech, so I think I'll just start away with the speech straight away. I was born in a Punjabi family in the city of Allahabad, properly known as Sangam, because there are three rivers that come and merge, Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati. Except for the historical significance and the fact that I belong to a school where Amitabh Bachchan did his schooling, I don't think so I have anything to be really proud of coming from UP and Bihar, as people say, and it's a fact. My father is an HR and admin manager in Reliance Industries in a manufacturing unit in Allahabad, and my mother is a teacher. Okay, mind you, a mathematics teacher. So now you know how torturous my schooling was. I moved to Bangalore when I was in the 11th standard, came here, joined Jain College for my 11th and 12th, and that was the most happiest moment of my life because I didn't have to stay with my mom. I was all on my own, knew that I could do anything that I wanted to. But as they say, time passes and struggle makes you realize the importance of things in life. 5 months down the line and I was like, oh yes, family is everything. I had to wash my clothes, do my utensils, run around the city doing things, in the buses, and there was no facilities. Staying in a PG with 3 people in a room, I'm sure half of us over here are experienced with that. I did my PUC from Sri Bhagwan Mahavir Jain College in Bangalore. Went ahead, started doing my degree from the same college. Started my CPT at the same level along with my degree. Cleared CPT, cleared IPCC, didn't have a trouble. Started my articleship in a mid-sized firm. Never realized things was just falling into line, and I just kept, started taking it up. Unless CA final just came to the picture. You realize, oh, there's a lot to study. 2.5 years passed away, nobody told you anything, seniors were not there in office as such. By the time you realize I have to start studying, it was too late. I started studying, cleared my one group in November 2015, wrote my first group, wrote the other group in November 16, skipped the attempt because I wanted to prepare, wrote my exams in November 16, couldn't clear, written it this time, hoping to be a CA in the next 20 days. Apart from articleship, I worked in EY for a while, and I basically specialized in internal audit. And as a CA, when I know that I want to be a CA, I want to be making sure that I'm not one amongst the khadoos CAs that we call as, who make you come at 9 in the morning and make you sit till 11 in the night and tell you, I don't care what you do, sit till 11, finish the work and go. I'm the one who's fun-loving. I leave work at 6:37 in the evening. I have my own social life, and I expect people working with me to have the same. So once I am a CA, I'll make sure that I, as well as people along with me, the whole team, enjoys as a CA, and there is nothing you should be compromising on, because these are the days you're going to live. If you don't live now, you are not going to be living when you're 55 years old and your health doesn't permit you to go for trekking and adventures and all those things. Finally, I would just like to conclude my speech by saying that I'm a semi-qualified CA working as a freelancer and have my own management and consulting firm for the past 6 months, and eagerly waiting to attach the tag of CA in front of my name.
Thank you, Minister Gaurav. I hope you will have a good news on July 1st, the result day. 17th. Yeah. So I hope your articles will have a good articleship life.
Oh yes, they definitely have a better life than what amongst all of us has had.
Yeah, thank you for your speech. And now I think we shall take a break for refreshment, get refreshed, and.
My name is Balaji. I am from Singamvaripalli, which is located in Chittoor district, AP. As usual, my schooling is done near my home, and I completed my 10th standard in APRS Lepakshi, which is in Hindupur, and I went to Guntur for CPT and IPCC, and now I am here. Talking about my hobbies, I love to play cricket, volleyball and shuttle, and I love watching movies. In my 10th standard, I went to play badminton for tournament level from my school. That was like I have a partner who is a little bit fat, and he is the SPL for that my school, so he selected for that one. And we are like we played, we practiced a little bit hard. I don't know. I competed with state level players, and I was in the semi-finals because. So I was in semi-finals, but I don't know the other component for selecting that one. They just given for us, and my opponent team is state level players. In the first round, we are like score 8 and 9, and by the end of the game, we got 18 score and they got 21. I felt a little bit bad for that one because I practiced that much level, and because of my partner, we were like that because he didn't play a little bit nice actually at the time, and I went back to my school and I got good response from everyone, like small kids and all my friends, because they are a little bit happy that I participated in this state level players and I got 18 score. So that is like one memory for me from my playing thing. And the reason why I am to be here happy in Bangalore is here we can learn a lot of communication skills when compared to so many other places like Bangalore or like Hyderabad or Chennai. Here people will be like professionally, people will be here, and nice places here to visit, and so many nice girls here. And I have mentioned one thing, that I have given speech in SICASA for 3 minutes 24 seconds. Why? Because I studied in up to 10th class in Telugu medium, and I converted to English medium for joining into CA course. Because my father used to tell me, you have to study a nice course which will other than regular courses like doing teaching or like engineering, because there is a small notion like every ST caste student will get easy job because they will have some reservation. That what I don't want to take from my perspective, because I have the ability to study which course I want to choose. Then why should I use that reservation category? So like that I chosen this CA and I am here. And I was a little bit dull in proper communication skills, and I came here and I was with Basudev, who used to tell me like, speak in English, nothing will happen. Like for 3 to 4 months in Bangalore, I used to speak within Hindi only, because that language will be little bit communicate for him. And I used to speak with my boss like, sir, okay sir. Like that only. They know Kannada, that I don't know. And after coming from my boss cabin, I used to mingle with my colleagues that what he told in Kannada, like just repeat the work again that I don't know. Then after some time, I got another colleague in my office, her name is Anjali, and she used to tell me like, you will not do any mistakes in English. The main thing is you have a little bit fear to speak in English. That if you remove that fear to speak with other people, that you will automatically learn how to speak with English people. She told me to try with me and like speak in front of me. No one will be here in our cabin. So with her and Basdev, I tried to speak within English, and I improved a little bit, and I got precious opportunity to be here, like for improving my communication skills. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Balaji. Even we all love Bangalore, and I agree with the fact that there are beautiful girls here. And speaking about the reservation, I think CA is the only course which doesn't have any reservation. So hope no one tells you that you pass CA with reservation and all. Now I would like to call upon Mr. Yogesh for his prepared speech, and he is going to introduce himself as well.
Hello and good morning, everyone. I've been asked to introduce myself. When we talk about ourselves, I would say we always give credits to people who are around us. Varsha rightly said, "Deshi Sangati Vesi Rangat." So what we are today is always because of the people around you who shape your attitude and character. So the credit goes to them. But talking about myself, I just stick to my own story. I was born in a small town named Salem. I was 4 years old when my family shifted to Bangalore. Salem was a very beautiful city. We often visited Salem during our summer holidays. My cousins were there. We played PlayStations and we went out. It was a good time spent there. I started my schooling in Bournemouth High School. Again, beautiful school, lovely teachers. When you go back to school days, all memorable moments, what we spent there always flashes back to your mind. So there are two things I always wanted to share with people. One is about my friend Shreyas. He became my friend in 5th standard, and I don't remember a single day where we didn't spend time together. We sat on the same benches all the 5 years. We ate together. We always played football after school. So a good time spent, and still memorable when we go back. So one more incident, which innocent side of me over there, was in 2nd standard. Our examinations were conducted and my parents were called to school. I was caught copying in exams in my 2nd standard. So my principal informed my dad that I was caught copying. My dad took me back home and he told me that whatever happens in your life, don't cheat. It's okay if you don't answer the questions. Leave it, that's okay, but don't copy. So the other examinations were conducted, the next examinations. My principal again called my parents to my school. This time it was because I submitted blank papers to them. So when our dad asked me, why did you submit it? I told him, you stopped me from copying. So that was a small incident. And I was promoted conditionally from my 2nd standard because of my innocence over there. And but time went on and I started studying well. Got good numbers in my 10th. And very happy. My dad didn't expect that, but yeah, in a way it was good percentage there. Moved on to Sri Bhagwan Mahavir Jain College for my PUC. I would say PUC days were the best days of my life compared to school days, because many of them consider school days to be the best of the days. My college days helped me become open to people, not literally in the sense that I started talking to people more, made many friends compared to my school days where I have only single friend all my 5 years. So college days was very memorable. I would say I was a part of the Commerce Forum there, so we conducted a lot of events and also participated in many events, let it be inter-collegiate or intercollegiate. After PUC, I opted to pursue chartered accountancy. I gave my CPT with a trial attempt, and my goal days I would say cleared in the first attempt itself. So that was a start. That was kickstart for my CA career, and along with my CPT, my graduation went on simultaneously. So I finished my graduation again from Bhagwan Mahavir Jain College, the Jayanagar branch, and went on to IPCC. Probably IPCC, I would say all of us, we had good times, because we have 6 or 7 months of coaching those days, and we always make good friends. We have a small group over there also. So IPCC again was a really good time spent. IPC I've obviously cleared in the second attempt, and moving on to finals, I'm still writing finals. I've written my group 1 in the month of May. I'm waiting for my results. I'll be attempting for group 2 in November. So that's about my professional life. Talk about my personal life here. My parents, my father is a retired businessman. My mother is a caterer. Probably you should taste her delicious food when you're free. You can probably drop in home. My sisters, I have 2 sisters, both are elder, and the youngest one. One of my sisters is an engineer. She works in Amazon US. Other sister is a senior accountant, accountant specialist. She works in Novozymes. So that's about my family. Talking about again my hobbies, I would say, off late I've started developing this hobby of cooking. So I've started loving cooking here, and I've started writing something in Hindi. It's more philosophical. So probably if you guys are interested, probably I can read out those things later. Thank you. So yeah, so it's more philosophical and more about life. So that's about me right now. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gaurav. I hope you carry the same innocence even now. And now I would like to call Mr. Sanjay Solanki. He's also going to introduce himself today in front of you all.
Happy morning to one and all present here. First of all, I would like to apologize. It so happened that one day my eyes came to me. My eyes came to me and said, Solanki, we need 15 days leave. I was a bit surprised why they're asking 15 days leave. Then I said, give me a time of day or 2, I'll tell you. Then first day over, I didn't speak anything, even they didn't speak anything. Second day, morning tea session they came, sir, what have you thought? I said, I can give you max 4 to 5 days leave, but not more than that. Then they kept quiet, and then again they came in the evening tea session. Sir, kya socha aapne? Then I said, my decision was final, I can give you max 4 to 5 days. The reason why I am apologizing is, I missed 2 meetings, 2 wonderful sessions, and I've lost like a lot of knowledge. Because the doctor advised me, I was suffering from eye infection, the doctor advised me to take 12 to 15 days rest, so I couldn't attend. And I apologize especially Sagar, because he used to tell me, come and attend. Before going to my introduction part, let me tell you one thing. Let bygones be bygones, because the topic for today, the theme is like power of now. Bygones be bygones, but let past be past. And sorry for not introducing my name before. I am Sanjay Solanki. I belong to Rajasthan. Rajasthan is also called as the abode of the Rajas. And I am graduated with BCom this May 2017 from ASA Degree College. I am pursuing my CA and have written IPSSA this May 2017 and waiting for the results. Hope to clear soon. And as my family is concerned, there are 5 members: mom, dad, elder brother, elder sister, and I. Father deals in cloth, mom is a housewife, elder brother is a software engineer and yet to marry in May 18, and my sister is married, and the last person, Sanjay Solanki, is standing in front of you. And one more thing, I would like to tell you one famous quote of Abdul Kalam. It's like, past is a waste paper, present is a newspaper, future is a question paper. So read and write carefully, otherwise life will be a tissue paper. One last famous thought I would like to tell is like not thought, but it's like thought on it. Like first learn. Spelling of learn is L-E-A-R-N. Like first learn and then leave the L. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjay Solanki. I hope even your marriage will be soon, and you will call all of us for the marriage. Now that's the end of prepared speech for the day, and thanks all the prepared speakers. Now let's start the interesting session, butterfly session. I would like to call upon Ms. Komala for the butterfly session.
Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Now we came to butterfly session. Butterfly is a beautiful insect which fly with freedom. Let's start our colorful speech, freedom speech. You can talk anything but terms and conditions apply only related to the topic. Okay. First, the most wonderful moment in your life that you wish to share. Again.
Good morning all, I am Egyan Gaide. So the most wonderful event in my life that I would like to share. Little tricky one because how to define a wonderful event is again a little tricky task. But if I have to share something that is, I could consider it a wonderful event, would be me coming to Bangalore. Bangalore had taught me the first time, this was the first time when I left my home. Basically, I was always there at my home with my parents and my family. So, when I came to Bangalore, like it taught me a lot of things. Like I was little afraid at first coming alone. Then once I came here, like I got to meet new people. Then new roommates also. So, then what has happened is now, later on during that part, I came across the SICASA. So that also was another touching moment, like the transforming point, where I got the opportunity to express myself, showcase my skills. So that is why I am here today as standing in front of you all. I am again trying to make use of this another SICASA Speaker Forum, another initiative of SICASA Bangalore. So hoping that we all will get benefited out of this. So that is all. That pretty much summarizes wonderful moment. Like the best part is like I came to Bangalore, I got to meet out new people. I used to consider myself an introvert, but given the time for me to adjust now, I can reach out to any people. Once I am you have to give me some time, but afterwards then people will start like telling me this guy is so talkative. So overall that was the best thing. Thank you.
What is the thing that you are crazy about? Shishir.
The thing I'm crazy about. So there are lots of things I'm crazy about. Last ever butterfly session I asked was chicken biryani or mutton biryani. One of the things I'm crazy about is chicken biryani and mutton biryani. Other things are sports like cricket, football, table tennis. Other things, series like I asked the question Game of Thrones. The other things which I'm more crazy, which is coming in 20-25 days, the next season. So there are lots of things which I'm crazy. I'm crazy to talk here also because I'm not a stage loving person. I was not a stage loving person, which I have already overcome few of my fears, I can say. I'm crazy to teach, to tease or to irritate my roommates, which oftenly they scold me. I'm crazy in my form also, as I get my juniors in trouble in front of my seniors. So I think I'm a lot of crazy person. Then with the way you see me, I'm more crazy than which you see me.
Something is better than nothing. Comment it by relating it to you, Guruchar.
Well, something is better than nothing. I have to comment on it and go about my life.
Relating to you.
Okay, well, see, it's been more than a couple of months since I've been here. I've been here maybe since the inception of the whole forum. And kudos to the CA final classes, I'm not able to make it to the forum regularly. Today being an off for my tuitions, I thought Sunday mil gaya so leta. And I thought, because see, I'm not a role player, I'm not a prepared speaker, all I have to do is maybe get a table topic. And I thought, well, something is better than nothing. at least I can listen to people, at least I can get the reviews of the general evaluator for others. Maybe so something, some knowledge at my hindsight. Something better than nothing. Thank you.
Beauty or intelligent? What you prefer? Mahesh.
Beauty or intelligent? I will prefer intelligent itself. Actually, everyone have beauty with going to parlors. But intelligent will come by knowledge, the communication skills, etc. Actually, I will prefer this knowledge.
Thank you.
You cleared CA in first attempt with A1. Share your reaction. Gaurav. First attempt. With all in your rank 1. Share your
With all?
In your rank 1.
If I cleared CA, if I would have cleared CA in the first attempt with All India rank 1, then I'm sure I would be the most happiest person, and at the same time the feeling of making my parents proud of what all struggle they have done to send me here to Bangalore and stay there alone, send the pocket money and keeping a track of what I'm doing, what I'm not doing. I would feel very happy to give them this happiness or moment of proud feeling that yeah, they've got something to be looking forward for from life. Nevertheless, if I'm not cleared in the first attempt and if not All India rank 1, I think I can still do it, and my parents will be still proud of me once I clear CA now and whatever I do in my life. Thank you.
What gift you would like to give to your parents? Sheshatika.
Good morning. My name is Sheshatika. When I was studied 10th, that time I don't know what in future we need to go. What is the future in after completing 10th? What is the right way we need to choose? So why? Because in village people, so they don't know how to study, how to study, how the future is it will be go. They don't know. So simply going to schools and come back to their home. They don't know anything doing. They gone to their agriculture place. They will simply wasting their time. So after I'm came to Bangalore. Now I know the value of education, right way and proper way. That is after completing. When I joined PUC, PUC is good. PUC is over. After completing PUC, I joined BCom in Jayanagar Vijay College. In there, some little bit I learned something new in education future. Some places, some persons are told better you need to study BBM. BBM is good, but after studying what is in after futures courses are there. You can choose it. They don't know any courses to learn. After my friend is sent, CA is a good course, is a profession. If you done well, if you done or completed well, the future is good. She said. So better I need to complete my CA to give a good opportunity. My parents gave to me good opportunity to study. They are working somewhere place and studying me to give this opportunity to my parents, I'm giving this gift to my parents. So.
You are directing a movie. Give title and share a brief story about it. Dhruv Rathod. Yes. You are directing. You are directing.
If you change the topic, I really can't.
If your business partner was unethical but making good money, would you continue with it?
My business partner was unethical and making good money. That's a very tough decision to make, because you are getting the money you want, but you don't have the satisfaction that you want. There's always that guilty feeling in your mind that I'm doing something wrong, I'm harming people. It's not what others do, it's what you do. And what you do must be right. So many people tell philosophical things, many people preach, but that's not needed. If you do what is right, if you understand what is right, what is right according to you, without harming someone, then that is the right thing. And if my business partner I first report him, so that I can also make some money. Because I think if you report to the tax department to someone, you also get some benefit out of it. And I would try to reverse the things which he has done, so that people who have got harmed people who are harmed because of him should not, I would like to reverse the harm which he has caused to people. That's it I can think of now. Thank you.
How was your experience at Chennai, Himanshu?
So before starting, how was my experience at Chennai? Let me first talk about how was my experience last to last time in Chennai. See, last to last time when I went to Chennai, I realized things were really good for me. I mean, we got a right hotel to stay in, we got right people to meet, we got the right timings in, and everything was really flowing very smoothly. And I was expecting the same to happen this time as well, or even better. The reason being, see, when we experience something, we always look for something that has to happen better the next day. But this was completely the opposite side. As soon as we landed over there, we didn't have a room in the hotel. I mean, the hotel was full and they told you have to come on next Monday to get a booking over there. And that is really shocking, because there is no place nearby which is cheap enough for us to afford, which is near to Institute as well. So we had to travel around 2.5 kilometers taking up an auto and finding another hotel, and that hotel was also not at all good. I mean, it was looking a little weird, because I was able to see some weird people moving around. But somehow we managed to stay over there. I met one uncle over there, they had come for some eye operation. So I somehow felt, yeah, if people are staying over here and they have come from far off places to do some treatment of themselves, then it seems this hotel might be good for us. Other than that, experience in terms of how experience always goes well with people. I mean, I'll never judge people before meeting them. I always judge people after meeting them, again meeting them, and one more time I'll meet, and then only there is a judgment. So I generally find people really good with me. And I made a lot of new friends. My friend Manoj also made a lot of new friends. We got into contact with many people. And of course, in terms of speech, I learned a lot from many people. The judges were really, really intelligent. And I could understand how professional they can think. I mean, because this time everybody had been given a question to be answered, and their technical knowledge was through the roof. I mean, it was awesome, and that is one thing I can carry with myself. Other things which I got, like, people are really good in making PPTs. People are really good in making PPTs. I usually used to think that PPT is something which I'm going to explain. I'll take up a topic, I'll explain the topic, and the PPT should be explaining about the facts of the things. But those students over there, they have a complete imagination. I mean, it is not at all having any text over there. They say something and a background goes on in which there will be images coming up. For example, a table with two students sitting, then the students shift over to the beach side, and then they shift over to this. I mean, how the speech goes, the PPT carries on with the same. And that is really something that I have taken away from the same. Of course, we didn't win. That is the only problem. But other than that, it was awesome experience. Thank you so much.
Tell me about the person whom you love the most. Vasudeva.
Thank you. I think this is the most tough question I have ever faced, because luckily I have 3 sisters. So I cannot say one person whom I love. And yeah, sisters means always cute and caring and beautiful. So in my case, I love the most my 3 sisters. Okay, not one person, and they are all beautiful and very nice in what to say, nature. They're well brought up, and they share me everything. And in tough times in our lives, even though everyone has tough time. The same case, they were always they never wanted this and that good expensive stuffs like other people, other children. And we have been from through a lot, and they have always been strong. They have always supported family. They have always adjusted with whatever they have. And since 3 sisters, lucky person, and I love them all. So I cannot say one person. I cannot choose between them. That's all. Thank you.
Share the joke that you heard last time. Surat Rawal.
Good morning everyone, I am Surat Rawal. Jokes is very enjoyable for us, any persons. I heard jokes like many, few days ago in the fields of chartered accountancy. One of the students who fell in many times in CA examination, and then he think about to make one of the ball like CA fell. Then it will become the through the his behavior of the to fail in examination. He made the CFL tube lights, and that is. Thank you.
In case of a dispute, whom would you support? Your wife or mother? Tarun Multani.
Only sir can answer.
Hi everyone. So, in case of dispute, whom will I support? My mom or my wife? Actually, it's a matter of the perception that who is right. I don't support anyone. Actually, I don't compare in between the peoples, because everyone has their perception. Everyone has their understandings. So, before supporting any one of my wife or my mother, I would like to solve the things, sort out the things, because it's not about winning or losing. It's about the understanding of a family. It's all about family. It's not about the who is right or who is wrong. The perception says that everyone is right, nobody is wrong here. Just the way of seeing the things. So basically, if still the things happen like I need to support any one of them, so I would like to support my mom, because she is understanding, she is understandable, and she understands the things more experienced from my wife. So she understands my wife also, and she will handle the things if I support her. So that's all about it. Thank you.
How are you feeling about GST? Up to now, how much information you got about it? Kapil Bhatt.
What I feel about the GST. Actually, I have not taken any coachings or any seminars about GST, so I don't know much about GST. Only I know that service tax and VAT are going to eliminate, and GST is going to come. And mostly people, I am staying in PG in Marthali. There are no one is there who is studying chartered accountancy. Only all people are engineers there. So whenever I am going for dinner, they will be there and they will ask me what is going to happen next, GST, what will be expensive, what will be cheaper. Then I will just say anything because they will not understand me. Before there were service tax which was charged at 15%, VAT was there. If you will go to restaurants also, there will be some percentage will be VAT on food, and in service charges, service tax will be there. Then accordingly I will tell anything like for luxurious people it will be expensive. Like if you go to AC restaurants or AC hotels, it will be like higher percentage, and for normal middle class like we people, it will be less only. Things will go cheaper. Then they will say, okay, they can afford, but we can't afford. What will happen for us? You tell me that. They will say. I will say it is. In all businesses there will be transparency and GDP of the country, and so many things will be good if it comes, because all people wants it to come.
If you be any age again for 1 week, what age you want to be and why? Prasad.
Good morning to all. This is very interesting and little bit tough to my challenging. So I would like, if God is present in front of me and ask what age you want her to live next 1 week, that because your time is over, they ask means I will take as my childhood, because I love my childhood as very much, because I miss a lot which you cannot express in words. Because from 2nd standard to up to now I am staying out of my parents. Till now I didn't stay with my parents, away from bed. I am waiting eagerly to meet them, wait them. If a God present asks 1 week to stay, if one childhood, I will ask my God, please stay with my parents with me for 1 week as a child and to take care of me, how I am and how I feel. That's I take thanks for it.
The punishment you took in your student life, and for what? Dipendra.
When I was in class 4-5, every Friday there used to be a entertainment week. So everyone must have to sing or dance in front of the class. So I was shy. So there was 2 options. If you can't dance or sing, you must have to kneel down. So I usually used to kneel down at the time because I was not like in dancing and singing. So that was my punishment. Thank you.
The turning point that made you stronger. Jayakumar.
Good morning everyone. The turning point which made me stronger, actually first one was when I came to Bangalore for first time, because as I was alone given responsibility for my sister's admission, and later after that 2-3 turning points came. One I have to manage with my parents in the business also. After my graduation, another turning point was failing in IPCC in first attempt, and the biggest one when I fell sick, which I don't want to share with like people. When I confronted I felt like I am confronting my death. That was the turning point of my life. That moment, like I just defeated my death with few seconds or minutes, and I felt like if today God had given me a second opportunity, then I should go and do something which is worthwhile. And that was the point when I tried to face my fears and all. Thank you.
Which app in your mobile you like the most? Shweta J.
Hello everyone. The app which I like the most is Share It as of now, because I am using iPhone. So it's very difficult for me to every time connect it with my laptop and sync music. So Share It helps me to take songs from my friends as well. So this is the app which I like the most.
How was your journey from SICASA to regional level elocution? Manoj.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. First of all, SICASA Speakers Forum. It is the base where I learned how to speak, and our honorable guests who always motivated us what are the requirements and where we should improve. These are the all elements which make me strong and which make me success to the journey of regional level elocution contest. At first, I was not really interested about elocution because I thought I was not well prepared and I can't do anything like that. But once, after coming to this speakers forum, it energized me from the bottom of my heart that I must take this part and I must represent my branch and I must do something, and I tried my best. But one thing what happened is that we went there. First of all, I won the branch level elocution contest, and then after we went to Chennai, and my friend Himanshu has explained what has happened there. And the biggest blunder mistake we did was we were there out of our PPT. Otherwise, when we gave a speech, everyone was like, oh, they are something. Bangalore branch of SIRC, they are doing something. And everyone was appreciating us, and we feel so proud that, oh, there is a chance of winning this. But later on, the judges said us that a PPT, it carries 20 marks, and out of 20 marks, you got 0. Oh, I was sad. And after that, I was so worried that now what shall I tell to my friends, and all the expectation what they were expecting from me. For a second, I was completely blind. And then after the judge came and he said, don't worry, actually you have done a very good job, and we all appreciate. Just because of that PPT, you were not selected. And somehow I was confident, and I was convinced. And then after I went out, and there were some friends, and they said that it's not a big problem that you don't won the competition, but you won her heart. That was the biggest compliment I got in the contest. And thank you. Back to the next.
Everyone did very well. Thank you. Over to MC.
Thank you, Ms. Komala. That was a beautiful session. Now,
we have come to the end of the speakers forum, and now I would like to call upon Mr. Mahesh, the listener, to ask a few questions with the listeners.
Which marks Varsha got in 10th class? Which percentage?
93.
Yes. And what is the quote said by Varsha Jain about Abdul Kalam?
No, you want me to tell something goal saying that they can.
Need one.
Make your dream as aim, not your aim as dream. What is the born place of Gaurav? What is the native place of Balaji? Chittoor district. Native. Yes. Singam Varpalli. How many days Sanjay Ice leaves? Ask leaves.
15 days.
Who is the first person given by butterfly session? Speaker.
Thank you.
What is the first craze said by Shishir?
Chicken mutton.
How many sisters Vasudev have?
3.
In case of dispute between mom and which age he will choose in next week by Prasad? Which age he will choose in next?
Childhood.
What is the question given to Jay Kumari in butterfly session? Which app Shweta will like in his mobile phone? Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Mahesh. Now I would like to call upon S. Ramlal sir for his comments.
Thank you for a wonderful session. I think I liked the theme the most in today's meeting. It talks about the power of now. And I am reminded of what Kalidasa said when he sees the sunrise every morning. It is said in Hindi, but translated in English. And it's so well translated in English that I fell in love with that English translation. You know what it says? Every day tells us, look to this day. Look to this day, for it is life. The very life of life. In its brief course lie all the realities and verities of your existence. Remember, yesterday is but a dream. Tomorrow is a vision. But every today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness. And every tomorrow a vision of hope. Yes, look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. Wonderful thing. And the President addressed on the topic called procrastination. All of us procrastinate. If we understand the significance or the negativity of procrastination, then we will understand the power of now. So it's many a thing we put off, we lose the opportunity entirely because we do not capture that moment in that moment. So that is why it is very, very essential that we live in the now. Most often we are in the past or in the future, but we are never in the now. So it's only when you are in the now, especially in the SICASA Speakers Forum, you should be in the now, because so many of you, 20, 25 people have expressed so many things about different topics. And we could learn a lot of good things from your presentation. A wonderful session. It was started by the Sergeant at Arms, Mr. Suman. He started off well, but I think since he knows his role, he should be well prepared. In the sense, he was prepared, but he did not practice enough. Had he practiced enough, there wouldn't have been those long gaps while he was speaking to us. In fact, he addressed the theme of the day very well. Really did. It excited me about his presentation, but then those loose ends have to be bridged. And that can be done only when you practice on a regular basis. And you know your role. You already know your role 1 week in advance. When you know your role 1 week in advance, you must be all the more prepared. The moment I leave this hall, I must script my saying, whatever I'm going to say next week, and start practicing the very next day onwards. And this applies even to the President. President also spoke very well on the subject called procrastination. I don't discount their ability to speak well. I don't discount their contents as such. Both of them, Suman and Mr. Sagar, expressed beautifully on the theme of the day and the word of the day. What we need to do is practice. And practice, especially the President's speech was so beautiful. I mean, had he practiced enough number of times, it would have been a masterpiece. That was so well done actually. The contents were so good. Even the Suman's presentation. But during when Suman was talking, I think some people at the back were, there was some mutual conversations. I think it's better that we avoid that. The reason is and he's opening the meeting. When someone is opening the meeting, we must be all the more glued to what he's saying. And the person, that Sergeant at Arms is the person who actually starts off the meeting. He should have a lot of enthusiasm. I think Suman requires to energize himself. Someone needs to put some fire, right, into him so that he can burn on the stage. You know, Dale Carnegie, I don't know how many of you have heard of Dale Carnegie, a person who is an authority on public speaking. He says, whenever you are on the stage, you must set yourself on fire. You must set yourself on fire so that people will come from long distances to see you burning. Don't you want to do that? Why are we all here? It is for that reason. It doesn't matter what we say. It is how we say that matters. Right? Work on that. I'm sure all of you are PhDs as far as knowledge is concerned, as far as your speaking ability is concerned, as far as your contents are concerned. But what is required is practice. And please do that before you come here, so that you present to us a wonderful meeting, and we would be longing to look forward to this meeting every week. And that happens when I prepare well, practice well. And I know the role beforehand. When I know the role beforehand, I can understand if it is a table topic session. And because you don't know what is coming at you. So you can falter, you can make mistakes, you can learn, you can do whatever you want. But here, a role is already defined. So I need to define how I'm going to open, how I'm going to conclude. And I think in this area, Yagya Gare does a lot of work. I have noticed in all the meetings that I've attended here, it is Yagya Gare does a lot of preparation and background work before he actually comes in front of the audience. And all of you need to do that. I think content-wise, all of you are masters, okay? I'm not going to dwell into your content as such. I'm only going to see how you present yourself. We are all here to present ourselves in an excellent way, right? That's the purpose. It's because of, so I think President spoke well, and Mr. Suman also spoke well. So shall we give both of them a round of applause? Thank you, and keep this energy also flowing. Whenever someone completes his talk, applaud. Right? There's a double advantage. One is you appreciate the person who's speaking. Another is you are actually invigorating yourself. You become that much more vigorous. When your turn comes, you present yourself in a powerful way. I think we all need to have that. What makes the difference between one man and another is energy. Right? It's not what he says. So it is the energy that distinguishes. And I think we move on, both of them did well, so move on to the MC. I think should have been introduced a little more wonderfully well by the President, and even Sergeant at Arms should introduce the President in a unique way every time he introduces. right? Find something different about the president. Mr. Suman, he did so find what is different in him and introduce that characteristic to us so that we learn more about the president. So what is important is not only you are, exciting him to come to the stage, you also are improving your own communication skills while you are introducing him. Ultimately, when I stand here, it is no doubt I want to highlight the other person, but the primary aim should be to highlight myself. Yes, introducing someone, no doubt, but am I making a mark in that introduction? So it is an art. Introducing a person is also an art, right? And that you need to learn. I think we can have some separate session, education session on how to introduce the speaker. We then moved on to the MC. I think MC talked too much about the, general evaluator today. He read out all his biodata. There is no need, to read out. He's married. He has so many children. You don't have to read. Pick up what interests you and present that to the audience. You don't have to read out the entire biodata, right? Because every speaker who comes as a guest, he has his own, so many years of experience. Are you going to read out all that experience? Then where's the chance for you to speak, right? You have to pick up only those areas which are meaningful to the audience. So what are those areas which will help the audience to improve? I think that's the thing that you need to concentrate whenever you introduce a speaker also. Don't highlight too much about him, because you are the center of attraction when you are on the stage. Although you are introducing another, you should highlight your presentation. And you didn't speak much about the theme. I think you should there are three people who should concentrate on the theme. The theme is already given beforehand. One is the Sergeant at Arms, the next is the President, and the third is the MC. These are the three people who should concentrate on the theme, because the theme is so good. So you and have a discussion among yourselves who is going to cover what point, because the theme is so broad, so general. You can actually define what I'm going to cover, what you're going to cover, and then that will help a lot. But as such, the MC has a good voice. He's quite energetic, but not fully prepared. He has not got the full. MC's role is very, very vital. He should know exactly who's coming after whom and what is to be said after a speaker is finished. All this, the entire agenda, he is the crux. He is the pivot around whom the entire meeting revolves, right? So he is the one who should be more energetic than any of the rest of us. So MC has to put in that hard work, right? If at all anything can make a turning point in your life, it is being the MC. If you can energize the entire meeting by being the MC, I think you have really evolved as a speaker, right? So that's what you ought to learn, and many of you should grab this opportunity of being the MC. I would love, give her any opportunity, anywhere for that matter. If there's one role I would grab from under somebody else's feet, it is the MC's role, right? Because that gives me so much freedom to speak whatever I want to speak, so many things to say, so much, I can display so much of energy. I am not confined only to the theme of the day. I can always comment on different topics that others have talked about, right? There's so much variety the MC can explore. That's the most beautiful role in these sessions. I think you have to work on that area. But otherwise, you have been quite energetic. You actually knit the entire meeting beautifully well. And it was very good. Before I say anything more, I would want you to select the best people here, because my comments should not influence your voting, right? Please select the best prepared speech. Before any evaluation is done, you have to do the voting, because the evaluation should not influence you, right? Best prepared speech, best individual evaluator, that is not being done, best butterfly talk, and best role player. Please do that. And before that, I would want the timer to present his or her observations. The timer, please. Because if somebody has gone off the time, he or she is not eligible for voting. Remember that. So you tell us whoever has gone off the mark as far as butterfly session is concerned, and if the prepared speakers,
For all people or
all prepared speakers, you have to tell us whether they have confined themselves to the time that is given to them. And then the butterfly session talks. In the butterfly session talks, anybody has fallen below 1 minute, anybody has exceeded 2.5 minutes, 30 seconds grace is given, you can tell them. So people who have gone overboard, beyond 2.5, they are not eligible for voting. People who fall short of 1 minute are also not eligible for voting. So in the butterfly session, you have to tell us who was off the mark. Don't tell us, people who have been within the time. So don't give us that, because we can save time on that. Whereas prepared speeches, you tell us whether anybody has overshot the time or anybody has also fallen short. Only the exceptions. Don't give us the people who are kept to the time. Please.
Okay, first of all, I will tell the highly exceptional person today in the prepared speech. That was Mr. Sanjay Solanki. He spoke only 2 minutes 35 seconds.
You don't have to say anything much. Just give us the timings. Exceptions. Only exceptions.
Gaurav
We can save time.
Gaurav Malhotra, 4 minutes, and Yogesh 4 minutes 50 seconds. In butterfly session, Guruchand 40 seconds, Mahesh 22 seconds, Gaurav 51 seconds, Surat 38 seconds, Prasad 52 seconds, Dipendra 43 seconds, Sweta Jain 20 seconds.
So they're all not eligible for voting, okay? Why do we, confine ourselves to the time? Because no communication is effective unless we keep to the timings. You cannot become an effective communicator if you don't know how to confine yourself to the time allotted. So that is the reason why we don't allow that. Otherwise, it's okay. Otherwise, all of you have spoken well. The only significant factor is to see that whether we have maintained the time, right? Okay, now we can do the voting. Done? Voting is done? Okay. Yeah? Individually validator is the only one you hold it till you listen to them. Okay? Okay. In the prepared speech section, we had 5 speeches today. Tremendous. And I hope this keeps on improving. But all the same, we need to close on time in spite of the number of speakers. The first speaker today was Miss Varsha Jain. Can I know who evaluated her? Anybody evaluated her? Okay. Nobody. Okay. Varsha Jain, I think, started off well. She related her name to the event that named her. That rainy season and that lightning and thunder. And the beauty about that is she said how she transformed her life. You can learn. You and I can learn a lot. It is the company that you keep actually alters the course of your life. Honestly, Kabir Das has said long back the same thing. Kabir Das has said this long. And she has beautifully defined that saying, Jaisi Sangat, Vaisi Rangat. Right? So it is the company that you keep, either makes you or mars you. So very, very important, and you are in the right company for your information. As SICASA Speakers, forum students, as students, you are in the right place. And this can alter your life, because every week you are getting at a different theme, every week you are listening to inspiring talks. So it alters my course of thinking too. We don't know. I don't know how many of you know, the more I listen to positivity without any effort from my side, the more I become positive. No effort from my side. All that I need to do is just listen to it. I don't do that too. And where else can I get such a positive forum other than the SICASA Speakers Forum, right? Outside, in the outside world, people talk negative things. People talk about rumors. Who ran away with whom? Who killed whom? This is all you read in the newspapers. Now, if that is what is going to, get imprinted on my mind, where is the question of my improvement, self-improvement? This is the place, right? So that doesn't mean that I should not learn what is happening outside. I should learn, because that is what I am going to present here and see that there is a change of attitude, right? I think well done. Varsha Jain did a good job, and she also concluded well. Only, I find this in all the speakers, you end by saying thank you. Please stop saying thank you. Instead, after you have completed the last portion of your presentation, you say Mr. MC or Mr. if you know the name, say Mr. So-and-so. Right? You hand charge back to the person from whom you received the charge. And another thing that I want to tell you is, this is the protocol that we need to maintain so that it becomes more professional. We are all CAs. We're going to be CAs, right? CAs have to be more professional. See, whenever someone introduces you, say Mr. MC, fellow speakers, and then start with your talk. Okay, so you address the person who gave you charge and fellow speakers. You don't have to address everybody in the gathering. You just have to, these two things you'll have to keep in mind. Everybody for that matter. And especially table talk, I mean that butterfly session master is there. So you have to address her. None of you I think ever addressed her. So you have to address her, Madam Butterfly Session person or master, whatever you want to say. Madam, fellow speakers, this is what I have to say on the topic, right? So that means you're giving a kind of protocol to your presentation and you gain that much more time to think on the topic. While you're addressing her, you gain that much more time. And another thing is when you complete your talking, just shake hands with her and then leave the place. So these are things that certain small things which will enhance our skills in talking to audiences. First, shake hands. It's even the person who introduces has to shake hands. No, the stage has never to be left empty. Never leave the stage empty. Moment you invite someone, shake hands with him and then take leave. And after the person has talked, he will shake hands with the person who gave him charge and then he will go back to his seat. So these are things, minor things, but they make a tremendous impact in the way we perceive ourselves, in the way our mannerisms are built, the way, cultivate our habits, right? So these are things that we need to learn, which we follow, of course, in the Toastmasters movement. The second person was Mr. Gaurav, and anybody evaluated Gaurav? Yeah. Mr. Vasudev is going to tell us what he felt about Gaurav.
Gaurav's speech was an icebreaker about himself. He did a very good job. Lucidity of language was very good. The command on English and the flow of the language was nice one. And then style of delivery was the where problem was. He had a mobile in his hand. So your hand is always like this. You cannot move it around. So see how our chief guests do, or how that there is a monos, how he does, like open. So when your hand is like this, you cannot. So hand shows main thing, gives main thing to public, to the audience. So next time please keep mobile inside. And then
I wanted to keep it as a play card which had points. So that means how I can do.
That means you need to practice more on that. Remember anything also. Anyways, from next time, practice on that thing also. Capacity to engage was good. We were all into your speech, and expression was also lacking. Precision of expression, how he is like Mr. Ramnath sir. This is the thing you need to do. Like, this is the how he expresses. So not that level, we cannot reach that level so fast, but somewhat there should be expression on like just giving a speech doesn't mean you are remembering things and speaking. This means also putting the pressure on the words. Okay, that thing is to be improved. Depth of coverage, yeah, we knew very well about you and your CA final and all these things. And time was the problem actually. You are supposed to talk at least 5 minutes. You didn't do that. 4 minutes was your time. So at least 5 minutes means about yourself you can speak anything. You can say anything about yourself. If it is about anything else, it will be problem. But 4 minutes is very less time on ice break topic. That's all.
Good. I concur with his individual evaluation, and while someone is evaluating, it is better that I do not interrupt the evaluation, because I either take it wholeheartedly or I can shed whatever that is not palatable to me. I can leave it out. Okay? I have to work on what the individual, because they perceive us differently. We don't know ourselves. We think we are the best. But it's only when someone tells us where we lack, then we know what are the areas we need to work on, right? So even if I do not like it, I should not interrupt. Okay, this is one thing that we need to learn. Don't interrupt. Write it down. If you don't like it, don't bother about it. Because many a time I've also received evaluation when I started on my journey in speaking, which was not palatable to me. So you don't have to worry about it. All that you need to do is just see if I can change that perception of that person in my next presentation. That means then I'm improving myself. So it's only an area that I need to work on. If I don't like it, I can forget it. So there's no point you may not have done it intentionally. It happens at times because we don't know the formalities in such a forum. Some of us come for the first time. We do not know what are the formalities that exist in these speakers forum. We never contradict anything that is said, right? Because it's the individual's opinion. Even evaluation is an individual's opinion, for your information, and it will differ from person to person. Since Vasudev has said that if you ask somebody else, Balaji, to evaluate you, he would have come up with a different, totally different viewpoint. So it is fine. Everything is fine. See if I can take something which I can work on from that evaluation. I think that will be a plus point in my personality. Well done for that wonderful year. I like, of course, Mr. Gaurav's presentation. Jain College, for your information, Mr. Chinraj Jain had, for your information, before he started speaking to an audience, he just was looking after one college. That was Link Road, Jain College. It was still under construction in the year 1995. Then he worked on his communication skills. Since then he is the secretary. He worked on his communication skills, and the power of communication has multiplied one Jain college into a Jain group of institutions. That's the power of communication. If you practice this, you can influence anybody under the sun. He influenced all his trustees, right, to come up with many more educational institutions. That's the beauty of communication, right? And he is a living example in Bangalore, one whom I have personally witnessed. And when he initially couldn't even start to talk. Many I like that. What's his name? What's your name? Huh? Suraj. He was first time when he talked to an audience, he was like Suraj. He just started off. Then he didn't know to continue. He just walked off the stage. And today he can speak for 1 hour continuously. And he charges people for his 1 hour talk. Industries call him to address his employees. And he is hard, according to his own submission, he has not even gone beyond 10 steps. Now imagine what you and I can do with the amount of education background that we have in the art of communication. We are not working in that direction. He had that passion, that desire. Jain College. You can tell my name, he knows. We have had a lot of interactions, Mr. Chinraj Jain. And very good presentation you had. Your voice is good. You keep it going that way. There was one grammatical error that I found in your presentation. You said 2.5 years passed away. Years don't pass away, pass by. Pass away is used only when someone is dead, gone out of this world. So passed by, right? That was the grammatical error. But otherwise, you forgot to even shake hands with the MC. Before you leave the stage, it's a protocol that I shake hands with the MC. Before I start off, the protocol is I shake hands with the MC, take permission from him, and then start off. And once you start off, you are the master. Once you are finished, he is the master. Right? So you keep allowing that charge to flow from person to person. Well done. And next we heard Mr. Balaji presenting his talk. Any individually valid? Yeah, Shishir. Shall we welcome him? Most handsome guy I find. Doesn't mean others are not.
Balaji started with a question. How many do you love Bangalore except Bangalore? That was a good thing. That was a good start. I think which attracted the audience, where I got attracted. So that was a good. You was playing with your finger like this, and when the hand were closed, which you can avoid. You could have included family, introduction of your family, members of your family in the speech, which was lacking. And even childhood, your childhood experience, because we have a lot of childhood experience which can contribute to the shortfall of the speech time. So you could have included that. As you have already given the project 1, it could have world structure. You can go with the birth, childhood, then 10, 12, your IPCC, your hobbies, your what you have learned, what you have not learned. That's all.
Thank you for your opinion. I think what I have to say to Balaji is practice, right? Write it down. Write down exactly what you want to speak. Otherwise, because you know that you are a prepared speaker, you must know exactly what you are saying. So you have to write it down, practice it, and then present it. Otherwise, there will be a lot of gaps, there will be a lot of hiccups in your presentation. A lot of, unnecessary pauses will be there. So you have to write it and practice. That is the only solution. All those who have made it big today, in any field for that matter, they have done it entirely because of practice, practice, and practice. Right? So this you keep in mind. Now we go to the fourth speaker today, Mr. Yogesh, and anybody evaluated him? Anybody? Yeah. Suraj. Let's welcome Suraj. You must give him a big round of applause. You know, he's hesitant to come in front of an audience. Last time he said, I don't know anything. Today he spoke something on the topic that was given to him. And he's also taken the mantle of evaluating. Let's see what he has to say.
Hello friends. It is difficult over here to evaluate the LBS speaker. And then he is a very respected person in many aspects like educational status and age, everything. But I found certain things about his speaking. Body language is very fantastic, starting also very nice, and he is confident when speaking. And then language and speaking style is also very outstanding. But I found one of the weakness that his attractiveness towards the audience is lack. And then he should feel smile on that. It is very nice.
You have to shake hands before you leave the stage, right? So it's a protocol that you need to follow and make it a habit. Make it a habit. And when you address, see, I've asked you to come over here, so you have to address me first and then the gathering. You say, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow speaker, and the speaker in particular, right? So that's how you have to address and then start off your presentation. I think that was the best introduction that I've heard. He introduced the entire family from Salem. He talked about Salem, the place of birth, and what one incident he related from his childhood, copying, right? And next time, it's a wonderful thing. I mean, first time he copied and then his father said don't copy, so he gave a blank paper. What an analogy. I think, I mean, it really baffled me. It was really good. Very good. I enjoyed your presentation. Only suggestion I have is you should not say thank you. Don't say thank you, because this is what is said in all general gatherings outside. In these forums, what you do is you have to have a definite... When you say thank you, what happens is it's a way of, getting yourself away from the stage. In other forums, fine, it is fine. Thank you is fine. In this forum, you have to make it a practice to have a concluding statement. It's only to strengthen your conclusion. Why we don't focus on thank you is because when I say thank you, I will not focus on the conclusion. The concluding statement should be very, very powerful. What I should remember as an audience is what you said in the end. And if I say thank you, then the whole thing gets diluted, whatever presentation I made. So it is to see that my opening and conclusion are fantastic and make a solid impression on the audience. Now if you have these two in place, the rest of it, whatever you say in between is fine. You are really a master, so it doesn't really matter. I think wonderful presentation, you have a good voice. I want you to continue to work on the structure of the presentation, like the opening and conclusion. If you had worked on that, it would have been one of the finest speeches I have ever heard. And I think even Varsha Jain was really good. She has worked on the opening and conclusion for your information. She really has worked. And she also went point by point how she developed, how she improved based on her childhood till now. She did a great job, and you two did a great job. We move on to the fifth speaker, Sanjay Solanki. Any evaluator we have for Sanjay Solanki? Yeah, please. Mr. Vasudev.
Thanks, sir. Today Sanjay spoke about himself, icebreaker. The dictionary of language was nice, English grammar was good, grammar was also good. Style of delivery was little bit of a problem was it was freezed, the movement was not there, the body language was not properly as per the speech, and capacity to engage, yeah, speech was good enough to engage us. The topic of eyes, how he related things with SICASA and all, that was very nice. And prestation and expression, like I already talked about Mr. Gaurav, the same goes about the expressing how we put pressure on the words and all. Depth of coverage. This is the main portion where I want to say is the speech was really short, 2.35, 2 minutes 35 seconds. So when you are talking about yourself, you need to, you have a lot of things to say. Man, you have how many years, 20 years of your life, you can put so many things in your speech. So next time onwards, try to lengthen it, put some more depth in your speech. That's all. Thank you.
Very good. I concur with him. One good thing that I noted in the speaker is his voice. I think he has got confidence in himself. The way he started off was very good. He related, I apologize, and then he related how the way he introduced himself was really good. Just like Varsha Jain introduced her, the way Varsha was connected to, and the way he came to SICASA, that's how beautifully he did. Sanjay Solanki. Where is Sanjay Solanki? Good, very good job. If you had really worked a little more on the practice side, no, it would have been one fantastic presentation from you. Because your voice is good. Voice is good, you have good confidence too. Very well done. And I like the way you close the concluding remark. I don't know how many of you got. First learn and then leave the L. Yeah? A tremendous thing. I have noted it down. I have never heard this before. So this is a, take back home message for me. First learn and then leave the L. Then earn. Right? That's a beauty. To close with. And then we moved on to the table topic session. Before I say anything about the table topics session, I will request the grammarian to come forward and make her observations. Miss Shweta.
I'll start with the first sentence was I didn't went. With did, you should always use present tense, so it should be I didn't go. The next thing was happened to me. It should be happened with me. Then the third thing was so many things. So and many, both are a larger number, so you should only use many is enough to be phrased. And then hater of studies, you should have used it I hated studying instead. Then it was a matter of proud. It should be matter of pride, not proud. And then I was never liked. I never liked. Then flew out of my mind. It should be flow out of my mind. He selected for that one. It should be he was selected for that. He didn't play little bit nice. It should be he didn't play well. And then converted to English medium. It should be used as shifted to English medium instead of converted. And then there was one pronunciation. It should be colleague. The pronunciation for that. That's what.
Thank you for that. I think we had a good grammarian, right? So you can make her the grammarian all through. Yeah. Wonderful. She has made beautiful observations. We can learn a lot through this. Grammar is the crux of any language, and we need to learn. It doesn't mean it should not. One more thing is, while focusing on grammar, never lose out on the presentation skills. Does not matter even if your grammar is bad, but focus on your presentation. There's a grammarian to take care of that. Why are you worried about grammar, right? So she will also get some task. She'll also have some job to do, right? Otherwise, if your presentation is all good, then that role doesn't have any significance as such, and she will not have any job to do. So give people there, whoever has taken up roles, give them some work. So you concentrate only on your presentation, right? As a speaker, entirely on my preparation and practice and presentation. These are the P's, the 3 P's: preparation, practice and presentation, right? All the 3 have to be exceptional, and they will happen in time, as I keep doing it very often, like you have witnessed in the table topic session, the way Himanshu beautifully spoke, right? The day you convert Suraj to Himanshu, that is the day I think SICASA Speakers Forum has taken a great leap, right? And it is our job to do that. It is our task. As members of this forum, we should help one another grow, right? Not only do I do well, I also see that others also do well. Help them grow, right? And it can be done. Remember, it can be done. In a group where the focus is the same, it can be done. You know, it is very, I come back to the table topic session, beautifully, organized by her, Ms. Komala, and the types of topics that she brought about. Each one, she gave some topic that he or she can talk about, right? Only one person said, I can't talk about it, so please give me another topic. Remember one thing, as a table topics commentator, when I'm talking, whatever topic that is given to me, I should not ask for a change. Now, asking for a change is fine for a beginner, and not a person like Dhruv. Dhruv asked for a change. Unthinkable, because he's very good at English, at the English language, and he's very good at the way he communicates. I have seen him do well. He has participated even in the elocution contest, right? You should have just witnessed his immaculate English and presentation. Outstanding, simply outstanding. You should never ask for a change, because it doesn't matter what you say. Are we here to judge what you are saying? I'm not here to judge what you are saying. Honestly, let me tell you that. Being the general evaluator is not my job to see whether what you are saying is right. I'm here to see whether you are saying what you are saying in an exceptional way. That is all that my job is. Whatever you say, you are the master. Say it with a lot of vehemence. Say it with a lot of uniqueness that defines you. And that comes more often that I speak, that presents itself, right? I think the topics given by her were simply outstanding and great. Everyone talked very well. You have to pick up people who have no roles, especially. I think you did, by and large, picked up people who had no roles to speak. No one should go out of this hall without speaking. That should be the aim of the topics presenter. The topics master, the butterfly master, session master should ensure that no one goes out of this hall without opening his or her mouth. Right? So because that's what we are here for. Right? I don't want to spend my Sunday morning coming all the way from long distances, not being able to express myself. The urge to speak is inherent in human beings. If you allow me to speak throughout, I can speak 24 hours. It's better you ask me to stop. Right? Wonderful session. Give her a round of applause for that. The applause also goes to you for those wonderful comments you made on each one of those topics. Don't worry if you have faltered today. You will do well as time passes by. There will be a day when all your fears will vanish and you are the center of all eyes. Right? So that happens the more I stand in front of people and keep on speaking. And I want you to practice that. And that happens only if you're prepared well in the prepared speech session. Right? If I don't prepare well in the prepared speech session, I cannot speak well in the table topic session. Right? In the butterfly session. Can I? Because I don't know anything. When I'm good at prepared speeches, then I'm good at table topics. So I can pick up something from there and relate it to what I said. It doesn't really matter what you say on the topics. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Like for example, I keep saying very often, if you're supposed to talk about the cow, you don't know anything about the cow. You know a lot about the tree. 1.5 minutes you talk about the tree, because you're supposed to speak about 1 to 2 minutes. 1.5 hours you talk about the tree, and in the end you say, I tied the cow to the tree. Finished. You're done. You're linked the topic. Right? It is for the people to select me as the best speaker or not. It is for them. It doesn't matter. I have spoken. I've utilized my time which is available to me. I am the master of that time. Correct? So that is what we need to do whenever we are on the stage. I enjoyed this session. We'll give a round of applause to all of you for a great session. I would like to conclude with what the President has said in his concluding. One day we should not wake up and find ourselves that we did not do the things that we always wanted to do. That's why Stephen Covey says, when you are on your deathbed, when you look back, do you feel that you have lived a life, glorious life, or do you feel that I am leaving this world with a lot of things undone? Mr. MC.
Thank you, Ramlal sir, for your wonderful comments. I think everyone has gained some few things from you to take away home today. Now I would like to call Mr. President, Mr. Sagar, to give his closing remarks.
With this, thank you everyone for your participation. Today I am very happy that we have good strength, and it gives us energy to conduct meeting continuously if we have good strength. And thank you Ramlal sir for your valuable presence and evaluation. And thanks to every prepared speaker, role players for your role and time. And with this I would like to conclude today's meeting.